Can you believe that number? Florida had 13. Florida had 13 rushing yards. Hold on. I gotta turn down the TV a little bit to show y'all what I just... Turn it down. Turn it down. All right, look, it's a hectic start to the video, but we just mute it. It is what it is. Don't want to get copyrighted, baby. Let me show you this real quick. Yeah, this is what your boy Matt just saw. Hopefully, NCAA doesn't take down my channel. I'll talk about Nebraska in a different video. What we, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what we're here to talk about is no other than the Florida Gators. So this is going to sound really weird, and I get it, but I thought Florida played a pretty dang good ball game, and I thought Florida outplayed Utah. Overall, from start to finish, Florida played better than Utah. I get it, it's a crazy concept, but just hear me out. But here's the thing with that. Florida made so many mental mistakes, and for 8 to 10 plays of the game, when you needed to have a good play and outplay Utah, they didn't. And that's how sports work. Whether it's golf, baseball, basketball, water polo, lacrosse, swimming, and in college football and the NFL, timely plays. We see it all the time. The better team on the field doesn't always win, and that happened in tonight's ball game. I got a lot I want to say about this Florida game, so I don't know how long this video is going to be, but just stick with me. I actually have so much stuff I want to say, I had to write it down in the notes of my phone. Let's start out with this, and I'm going to bring the whiteboard up, so let me clip this on up, and yeah. To start the game, first play or first offensive possession for Utah, what did they do? 70-yard touchdown, and I thought the rails were going to fall off. I thought Billy Napier and this Florida team, they could have just dug into a hole and said, yep, we're in a hostile environment. We might as well just get it started with. But no, they responded. And what happened? What happened? I'm asking y'all a question. Florida came back and they narrowed it down 7-3. They narrowed it down. And then what happened? Florida got the ball back and they're driving. They are down 7-3. They're driving, and guess what happened? They had a 4th and 1. Can you see that right there? They had a 4th and 1. I know it's all jumbled. 4th and 1, and then boom. What happens? False start. So then it goes to a 4th and 6. No big deal, right? No big deal. Let me erase this. Let me write this, get it out of the way. No big deal, because you might have went for it on 4th and 1, and you might not have got it. So at least by getting the false start or whatnot, you're going to narrow it. It's a chip shot field goal. Oh, crap, the board almost fell. You're going to narrow it to 7-6. Considering how the game started, you take that. But no, guess what? They missed the field goal, and this is where I feel like the game just went downhill, and Florida, they just couldn't get back on track. So instead of it being 7-6, it is 7-3. But still, even with all that disaster that happened on the drive, 7-3, Florida's defense, what happens, guys? They get a stop. They got a stop. Utah winds up punting the ball, and I'm like, all right, let me go downstairs and get a drink. I have never seen this before. Maybe it's happened before. I've never seen it. They punt the ball. Florida has it. They fair caught it on like the 4 or something. And the referee comes up talking about, oh, it's a 5-yard penalty because Florida had 2 players. Florida had 2 players wearing the same jersey on the field at the same time. Obviously, you can't do that. Utah gets a first down. So instead of Florida having the ball, it's 7-3. They got all the momentum in the world. Utah gets the ball back, automatic first down, and boom. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is 14-3, and that was just a big momentum killer. Heading into halftime, the score was 17-3. I feel like if that play never happens, Florida could have potentially took the lead on that drive. They could have held the lead. And we all know after halftime, Utah's offense didn't do jack squilly crop. I mean, in the 3rd quarter, Utah had, what was it, like 15 total yards? Oh my goodness. And then after halftime, Graham Mertz throws an interception, 24-3. And at this point in time, with the way Florida's offense was playing, it was just too much to overcome. They did too little too late. They tried turning it on at the end. They cut it to 24-11, and I saw the team getting hype and whatnot. I'm like, dude, you're getting hype. The game's already over. You should have got hype in the 2nd quarter. You should have got hype in the 1st quarter, whatnot. And yeah, that was pretty much the end. Once it was 24-3, there wasn't too much coming back. Now, there's a couple other things I want to address that I wrote down on my phone here. False starts. 2 of them, or maybe 3 of them, but I know 2 was from an Alabama transfer. So you're welcome. Glad you took Damian George off our hands false starts, killer. In Alabama, we even had this problem last year, all during the season in the Tennessee game, in the Texas game. And I will be the first person to tell you, a lot of people, they blame false starts on the coaching staff, on the head coaches. No. I don't. Because it's not the coaching staff's fault. It's not the head coach's fault you get a false start. A false start is the player's fault. Don't care what anybody says. Everybody's going to be quick to blame Billy Napier for false starts and stuff like that. But no. Keep that same energy, because you're not going to blame Nick Saban for false starts. False starts are on the players. That's their fault. It's just mental lapses you can't have in these big time games. If you want to win these games, you want to get back to being relevant, Florida, you can't have false starts like that. And the last thing we're really going to focus on here, because this is my immediate reaction, you know I'm going to talk about this game tomorrow, is this right here. Well, I kind of messed up. Well, whatever. Wrote too big. It'll be all right. Should be able to read it. Hold up. All right. Hope you can read that. Mental mistakes. This goes back to false starts, misassignments, having two dudes wearing the same jersey on the... Oh my, I can't get over that. Don't even get me started again. Just everything they did in this game, mental mistakes. You can't have that many mental mistakes against a team like Utah, very solid team in a hostile environment, and expect to win. You just can't. And why it's unfortunate, and I feel for my Florida fans, I feel so bad, is because, and I feel bad for the Florida team and the coaches staff, because you outplayed Utah. They did. Overall, they outplayed Utah. Am I going to sit up here and say they deserve to win the game? No, I'm not, because at the end of the day, Utah made the big time plays. I'm actually curious to see the box score. I haven't even seen it, but I can guarantee you Florida outgained and just outplayed, Utah in the box score as well. Yeah, Graham Mertz, haven't even talked about him. I thought he played pretty dang well. 31 for 44. That's about what? 67 completion percentage, over 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 INT. I thought he played well, showing the team stats. Florida had 17 first downs, Utah had 13. Florida had 346 total yards, and Utah had 270. Obviously, Utah outgained Florida on the ground, but this is the last thing I'm going to write on this board, because it really shocked me about just Florida and Billy Napier, considering what they did last year. What am I writing? Come on, Matt. Lock in. Can you believe that number? Florida had 13. Florida had 13 rushing yards. I can't believe that. I can't believe. If you would have told me heading into this game that Graham Mertz would go 31 for 44, 330 passing yards, and only 1 interception, I thought Florida would have won this game by at least 10 points. The fact they only had 13 rushing yards, it's hard to believe. It is hard to fathom, guys. And maybe this is coming off as me trying to take up for Florida, but if you've been watching all throughout the offseason, I haven't laughed at and criticized a team more than Florida. I'm the last person in the world to take up for Florida. But I will say this to my Florida fans. I know you lost and you don't feel good about that. It is what it is. Different conversation for a different day. Let's focus on the positives. I'd be pretty dang pleased with Billy Napier, his play call. I thought it was okay. And I'd also be pleased with how Graham Mertz played and how the team played. I know that's going to sound a little weird, but yet again, it was just mental mistakes and a couple of plays here or there. If the ball would have bounced this way and bounced that way, you'd have won this game. Now, is that me throwing out a lot of ifs, ands, and buts? Yes. But you got to understand my perspective. I thought Florida was going to be straight up booty juice this year. I really didn't. Oh yeah, what was up with the last really offensive play for Florida? It was 4th and 14. They call a timeout. He draws up a bubble screen. Billy Napier, come on, man. A bubble screen on 4th and 14? The pass wound up getting swatted down, but who cares? Even if the dude would have caught it, there was like 4 defenders in front of him. Where was he going to go? I'm really trying to focus on the positives in this video because I don't think Florida played a bad football game. On the flip side of it, and I should have done this at the beginning of this video, but I just think the storyline is how Florida played. Utah, you got to win. A win is a win. Utah, it was, I don't know. It almost just seemed like Utah was trying not to lose the game in the second half. Now, because against Florida, if you just try not to lose and make Florida beat you, they'll end up beating themselves. And that's what happened. There's really not too much to say about Utah. Utah looked how I thought they'd look. I picked Utah to win this game, and anytime you win a football game against an SEC opponent by double digits with your backup quarterbacks, yeah, huge win. So congratulations to Utah fans, Florida fans. I'm really trying to focus on the positives because I think he did a lot of good things in this ball game. But I will say this, you have a long, and I mean a long way to go. You just got to make timely plays. That's all it is, and you didn't do that today. I could go on and on. I'll talk about this game tomorrow more than likely. Let me know your thoughts down below. But